All right. Anyone else would like to mention? Oh, we at 6 o'clock hour. All right, everyone. This is McKenna Gargano. I'm so happy you guys are here with us this Thursday evening. And I'm going to introduce you to the lady of the hour who makes this happen every week for us. She's a 3-star director. She has been with the company since the very beginning. She is a wife, also a mother of 2 beautiful children. She is a 2020 club member. Also, I would say she's heading towards being a 4-star director for all the wonderful work that she's doing with us. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to 3-star director Joy Dawkins from Atlanta, Georgia.
All right, McKenna, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you opening up this call each and every Thursday as we are here. You are a goal builder in our company, one of the leaders in California. Not only that, you are also a 2020 club member, building your team to directorship, doing some amazing things. You know all about travel. You love helping people, and I definitely appreciate your servant heart and servant leadership. So, thank you so much for all that you do. And I want to welcome everyone to our Thursday Team Zoom. We're here each and every Thursday to discuss different topics in building our businesses, to recommend books and audios, and make our cross country connections. And I love to see everyone's face each and every week. Well, tonight, this is the third Thursday, and it belongs to the wonderful Dorian Joyner. He is, of course, a 1-star director in this company. He and his wife work this business together. They are 1-stars going to very, very quickly. They're director makers. They are really have a heart of gold and working this business, helping people, building their teams all over the world, literally. Mr. Dorian Joyner, are you out there with me?
I'm here, Director Dawkins. Can you hear me loud and clear?
I can hear you loud and clear, and I know we are in for a treat tonight because you always bring it. And we're going to talk about the money, getting to the money.
That's right. That's right. We're going to talk about getting to the money. Can you do me a favor? The sharing is off.
That's
Uh,
interesting. Let's see here. Sharing is
as
off.
you might have to make me a co-host on the other screen where it says
Oh,
participant.
okay. Gotcha,
Uh,
gotcha, gotcha.
yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Give me a second to find the other
No
you.
problem.
the, the one I see is already co-hosting. So
Okay.
let's pull you up.
Okay.
There it is. All right. I am giving you power. How about that?
Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. There we go. We got power there. Well, folks, I want to welcome everybody. It's great seeing your smiling faces tonight, and it's funny because me and Joy were both rushing today. I tell people I don't take this lightly when she allows me to talk to the whole team. Even though my team is a sub part of this team, it's a big responsibility, and we don't take it light to come before you. And so we're going to jump right in. Last time on the screen, you remember we talked about Show Me the Money. We're not going to go through the Show Me the Money today, the video, but we talked about the comp plan. We talked about the two businesses, what you actually get with those two different businesses, with Planet Marketing and IntelliTravel. And one of the things we're going to talk about tonight, one of the words in there is value, understanding the value, telling you how to get to the money. Because if you understand this business, folks, and I don't think too many people understand that, out of that $200 that actually comes in when there's a new business partner, $135 of that flows back to the field immediately. And we went over that last time. And so what happens is Planet Marketing and IntelliTravel split the $65, folks. That means the reps actually get more in this business in the field, 68% of the income when somebody actually partners. What business model do you know that actually the field makes more than the corporate? And so we start right there, understanding. You have to start to understand how to get the money. You have to understand the money, and so make sure to go back and listen to the last video that we did about showing the money. Dig down deep into this comp plan, folks, because if you understand truly where the money's at, and if you study this, kind of like how you study your insurance in November. You know how your company puts out the insurance coming in towards the end of the year? You got to know your health plan. Study this comp plan like you study that. Let's talk about ownership. Folks, you have to at some point take ownership. This is a business. This is not like a job. Part of understanding how to get the money is that understand that you are not an employee when you come into this business. You are an independent business owner. Now, raise the hands for those who've never been in business. Let's talk about those who've never been a business owner. And so what happens is a lot of times we use language along the way that people don't understand. And so sometimes we say take ownership, and sometimes we got to really explain to you ownership. Ownership is taking responsibility. That means everything falls on you. When you're an entrepreneur, folks, everything falls on you. When you're first starting out, guess what you are? You're the janitor, you're the accountant, you flip the hat, and then you're the receptionist. And guess what? You're everything when you're a business owner. So what happens is you don't sometimes have a designated task when you first start business. And so you have to one of the first things you have to do in your business is learn how to take ownership. Ownership is a major key to developing a successful business. And guess what happens? What you're looking for is somebody who takes ownership. So a lot of times we're trying to get people, when we're talking to people, we're trying to talk to people who really sometimes never been responsible for nothing. We're just hoping, we're like, they need. And I was taught a long time ago, when you're doing business, you don't try to go for the needy, you try to go for the greedy, the folks who are greedy. Because guess what? The needy, guess what happens? They want to be told what to do. That's why 1% of the country controls 99% of the wealth, because the 99 want to be told what to do. When you're in business, folks, ownership is a big thing. I'm going to give you an example, and it's not to put me on a pedestal. It's just to give you an example about ownership. Let me start with this. Mr. White. Most people don't know, when we used to have weekly meetings, if Mr. White, even before I got into business, he did what I do. He started it. He did the music. He set up the room. He did all those things for years. And people always say, well, how did you end up with Mr. White? And I'll never forget, because me and Angie used to come to the meetings. And we came to the meeting, I'll never forget, Mr. White, I think he went bronze belt in about 2.5 minutes. I think he went silver in about 3 minutes. And I think he went director in about an hour. But he was like a 4-star director at the time. And I'll never forget, we were coming to the meetings. And what happened was, I would notice Mr. White, he would come into the meeting, and he'd be dragging a speaker and a projector and all those different things when he pulled up. And I noticed something. I was like, hold on. He's the top 10 here. He's a 4-star director, and he's dragging stuff. And I was like, that don't seem right, because like at my church, everybody's running trying to help the pastor, help the kingpin. And guess what happened? I said, let me go help him and take, because guess what? He took ownership. And all of a sudden, in helping him, guess what happened? I said, well, this is what you did, and now that I learned the system, let's do a little bit more. Maybe instead of 1 speaker, let's get 2 speakers. And then what happened, instead of trying to hook the music up, let's do Bluetooth. And then what happened, we did a whole bunch of things, and guess what? We tried to get it better and better and better and better again. So the fact is, one time one director came in a meeting and they were trying to talk to Mr. Bradley. And Mr. Bradley said, "This ain't my meeting. You better talk to Dorian. That's ownership." He said, "Dorian owns this meeting. That's Dorian's meeting." And what I'm trying to say is because I took ownership of something. You have to take ownership of something. If you see something needs to be done, if you see Joy has this and that and this and that going on, guess what? Help out. Take ownership. Because guess what you're going to do in taking that ownership and helping and assisting? You're going to learn more than you ever learned because some things are caught and not taught. Write that down. Some things are caught and not taught. And so just being around, like helping Joy or helping Tonda Seasway or helping Selena or helping whoever, guess what you're going to be able to do? You're going to be able to learn some things about your business you just wouldn't have learned because you're going to catch them. And guess what happens? That's the first step of learning how to get the money is taking ownership. The second thing you want to do in your business is you want to get your business partners to educate themselves. A lot of times we're trying to convince people, to say, hey, you know what? Come here, do this, do that. Guess what, folks? You're looking for people who really just want to educate themselves. You're looking for somebody in the business who wants to take the time to learn the industry. A lot of times we lose our posture because we're trying to beg people. Oh, please just take a look at what I'm doing. Please just do this. And I don't see my sponsor on here. My sponsor will tell you. In fact, if she was on here, I would ask her, how many times did you tell me to come to a meeting? Now, I tell people all the time, I got in for just travel. But guess what? When my sponsor said, hey, you know what? We got a Super Saturday coming on here. I'd like you to come. Guess what I told her? Okay, because guess what? I'm a business owner. I wanted to learn more about my craft, about the business I brought. And a lot of times we don't take time to educate yourself. Now, here's the thing that comes with education. Here's a caveat that comes with education and ownership that they go good. What happens is, Scotty, guess what happens? When you educate yourself, you start building confidence. A lot of times we're lacking confidence, one, because we don't educate ourselves about our business. I love Skylar because Skylar is like, to me, all the different things of travel. I get texts and messengers about 6 o'clock in the morning, and guess what? Skylar's sending things out at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock, but guess what happened? She's always educating us. And guess what happens? She's confident about what she's doing because she's taking time to educate herself about the business and about the industry. A lot of us lose confidence because we haven't taken time to educate ourselves. Give you an example. I have a young lady who got in this business named Aisha Whitted. If you guys are on the IntelliTravel Departure Lounge, you see her name all over the place. This young lady got into business. I'll never forget from day one. She's like, I got the name for my cup. She said, I've been wanting to be a travel agent, a travel advisor. And guess what she did, folks? She hit the ground running. She's like, do I need to have an LLC? I was like, hold on, slow down. She ran off. She had a company, Peachy Wonders. And then guess what? I found out I found this out. She became one of IntelliTravel's top agents. I didn't even know about it. She had ran off and started educating herself. And then guess what? Between October and, 2 months ago, she did well over $100,000 in bookings. Because guess what she did? She took time to educate herself on the industry, and she took ownership. Part of getting the money is educating yourself and taking ownership for your business. Guess what happens? She doesn't call me about travel. She might have 1 or 2 questions, but guess what she's doing? She's networking. She's made herself available to take ownership of her own business because now she's branded herself. Peachy Wonders is branded, and she took ownership of her business. part of getting the money, folks, is taking ownership of your business. Not saying my upline didn't do such and so. Not saying my upline didn't provide me this, my upline didn't provide me that. Guess what happens? Everybody has access to the information. And so guess what you can do? You're an independent business owner. Unlike at your job, there are only certain limitations or certain access that you have. Here you have access to everything. So take ownership, educate yourself. And guess what? Take that time to study your craft, to learn your business there. Now, I'm going to talk about two things that really go together. I'm going to talk about belief. You have to believe. And then I'm going to also talk about you have to add value. And I'm going to talk about them together, folks, because they really go together. Even though they're two different things, they go together. What do you have to believe in? You have to believe in both companies, first of all, that both companies can do what they said they're going to do. Folks, we have two debt-free companies. In fact, if you guys didn't know that, two debt-free companies. They don't have any money problems whatsoever. Now, let's talk about each one of them and talk about a belief. And so this way you can't, if you have belief, nobody can shake your boat about anything. IntelliTravel won Norwegian Cruise Line's breakout partner. And guess what happened? High rating. Now, this is just the one I got that they won it after 2018 also. But guess what, folks? Let's talk about what's going on next year. Do you know there's never been a travel agency who's rented a whole ship for their agents? We have the whole ship to ourselves, and they chartered the whole ship. That's a big deal. In fact, how many of your companies have chartered a ship for you to go on? And not too many, right? I don't see too many hands right there. IntelliTravel, that's the leverage that our company has. And so when you start to look at all the different things that we have, man, that starts to build some belief in there. How can somebody rock my boat? And guess what? My company's chartering ships. I mean, Mr. Bradley's chartered a $40 million yacht. How many of your friends chartered $40 million yachts? You see? And then how about this one, folks? The Magellan Awards. Man, do you know this is like the most prestigious award in the industry? In fact, this is like the top award, the Magellan Awards. I have the writing down here. If anybody wants, you can Google this. But every year, agencies are fighting to try to get the Magellan Award. And IntelliTravel has several of them. So when you start talking about belief, you have to start talking about, man, if I'm going to get this money, I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in this, man. I believe in this company. I know you guys do because I'm talking to the choir here. You guys are here. But now you could take this information and actually talk to your people or some of the people who weren't here. How about this? This is a big one. Some of you were not here. Some of you don't know about this one, folks. This is probably one of the biggest ones, and I'll make sure to enjoy this slide right here. Folks, do you understand who this gentleman is? His name is Kenneth Chenault. Kenneth Chenault just retired. He was the CEO, the chairman of the board of American Express. This was a huge deal. When I say huge, it was huge. Folks, this writing right down here came from Insiders Travel. This goes out to the whole travel industry. It says we don't usually do items on travel agency conference after the fact, but this one is notable for a few reasons. First of all, it's about the annual conference held January 3rd through 7th in Orlando earlier this month by IntelliTravel, the host agency that has thousands of members. Indeed, IntelliTravel said it had more than 1,400 agents attended this year's conference. Folks, no other travel agency has that many agents attending conferences, travel conferences. But then it says second, those attending the conference on January 5th heard from a surprise keynote speaker, Kenneth Chenault, Chairman and CEO of American Express. Now, the fact that Chenault spoke may not be that odd, but he's not known to speak at many, if any, travel industry conferences these days. So it was a bit of a little of a coup for IntelliTravel to get him. Word is he's friends with Joe Trainer, chairman of IntelliTravel. Now, you might say, who's Joe Trainer? Well, folks, do you understand your company, IntelliTravel, is partly owned by a billionaire, the gentleman you see on the screen, Joe Trainer. And guess what? He's friends with Kenneth Chenault, one of the top CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. And so when somebody tries to shake your boat, if you know these facts, in fact, I had one of my friends when I posted this, that when we went to the conference, he said, hold on, Doria, you telling me you had Kenneth Chenault at your conference? He said, I went to see Kenneth Chenault because he's a business executive. He said, it cost me $6,000 to get in the room with him with over 200 people. It cost $6,000 a piece to get in the room. And you're saying he came to speak at your conference? Folks, if you start educating yourself on things that are going on in your business, man, it's going to build your belief sky high. That's why nobody can shake my belief about this business. Then let's talk about Planet Marketing, folks. $2 a day, 67 cents. We're not even talking about out of the $2 a day. We're talking about the 67 cents a day, the $19.95, to run a home-based business with unlimited income. A home-based business that actually allows you to leave a will and not a bill for 67 cents a day. 67 cents a day. Look how much a morning coffee every day is, $5. Lunch with your coworkers, $2. And all of a sudden, you have a home-based business that can give you what a Joy Dawkins has, a six-figure income for 67 cents a day. And so you guys, well, sometimes some of you are letting people rattle you when they say, I don't want to do the Planet Marketing. I don't want to do it. And guess what happens? You don't give them no pushback. Guess what happens? How much does it cost to get in my business? John, unmute yourself. How much does John Riley is brand new. How much does it cost to get in my business, John, and get in your business? How much does it cost?
It costs a total of, like I said, the $199.90.
$199.90. Guess what? If somebody wants to do business with me on either side. Guess how much it costs in my business? $199.90. You know the reason why, folks? I don't push one side or the other side. When I'm talking to people, I'm talking about one business. When I talk to Aisha, even though Aisha loved travel, and I want to be a travel advisor, when I talk to her, she said, how much is it? It's $199.90. It's $200. Because I'm confident. Because you know why? What if I ask my son, both of my sons, one son is becoming a medical doctor at Morehouse Medical School. One son graduated from Morehouse. What if I asked them when they were 6 years old? How about my son who's going to be a medical doctor? Hey, Jamil, would you like to become a doctor? And guess what it's going to entail? It's going to entail you going to school for the next 12 years of your life. And then after the next 12 years of your life, guess what you're going to do? You're going to need to put another 4 years of your life. Oh, I forgot. You got to put one more year on top of that. That's another 5. So that makes about 17 years. Oh, hold on 1 second. You're going to specialize. So guess what? You got your residency. That's going to be another 5 years. So, Jamil, you're 6 years old. Guess what you're going to need? You're going to need up to about when you're 30 years old to become a doctor. Would you like to continue going to school? What if he was 6? Guess what he would say? Carnell is laughing. No, I ain't going to school no more. And guess what? A lot of times when we sign people up in the business, we're letting them tell us what's best for them. And guess what I'm doing? I'm putting them in a winning position. When I sign somebody up in the business, I'm not trying to push them one way. I thank God Melinda put me in both sides of the business. If she had just told me about one side, I would have never seen the directorship. I would have never seen the ability to actually have a Planet Pledge in my life. I would have never had the ability to start earning a six-figure income. And what she did was she did me a favor. Guess what she did? She said there's $200, and guess what? You'll learn about it. You can focus on what you want to do now, but guess what? You'll learn about the rest as you grow. And what she did was she educated me and gave me the opportunity and put me in a winning position. And a lot of times we don't see ourselves putting people in a winning position. And when I'm talking to people, I'm doing three-way calls, and they're telling me what they want to do. How are you going to tell me about these two businesses? I'm going to put you in a winning position. Now, you can focus on what you want to do, but I'm going to put you in a winning position, because how much does it cost to do business with me? $200. Okay? Now, folks, also with Planet Marketing, think about it. For those who don't know, in teletravel, the first 25 years, they were phenomenal at travel, but they weren't as strong on the marketing end in their business. And so they had 5,000 active agents. They had the website. They would let people know. They didn't run commercials, but what happened is word of mouth. And guess what happened in the last 5 years? Do you know how huge this is, folks? First 5 years, they had 5,000 active agents. Since the last 5, Planet Marketing brought 65,000 active agents. Active is the key word in there. Active agents, folks. That means they brought 65,000 active agents. Do you know how huge that is? Folks, do you understand this? Over $100 million in commissions and bonuses were paid out. Just the fact that the Planet Marketing said that we paid and put it out in the public, because how many companies have you ever heard say how much their bonuses are, how much they paid out? When you've seen the presentation, they put it right up front. They said we paid out $100 million, but guess what? That was as of when we printed the slide. But tonight on the special broadcast, we did over $101 million. Folks, what I'm trying to tell you is believe. This is how you get belief. You start to believe in the company. Now, I was talking about value, but I want to skip that slide. I think I missed the slide. Nope, I got them all. I'll skip it. Now, before I go into the slide, I want to talk about adding value. A lot of times I told you all these different facts to show you how to get the money. Why I want to show you how to get the money? Because some of these things you have to educate yourself on, or you have to know, listen to the stories or write them down, and then you can have them. So this is your arsenal that you can have and bring to the table. So when you talk to somebody, you say you're talking to a business executive. You don't have to shrink down and say, oh, they make more money than me, they do this. Folks, we had Kenneth Chenault at our conference. And guess what a business executive do? They'll recognize automatically, whoa, y'all had Kenneth Chenault. That's a big deal right there. Y'all have 5,000 activities. Guess what? Business people know business. They know one thing. They know green. And what color is money? Green. And so when you start talking about the figures, our company, and what happens is a lot of times we're talking to people who have no business knowledge, or I'm talking about no business knowledge at all. We're trying to make them see things. We do not have to convince people, folks, if you educate people. Now, another way of getting the money, I want to explain this one. It's called the 80-20 rule. as you start building your business, a lot of us get concerned about the people on our team. And you're like, my people ain't doing nothing. My people ain't doing nothing. Well, guess what, folks? I have over 200 people in my organization. Sandy has well over 100 or close to or 200. I'm not sure her number. Tonda Seasway has well over 300 people in her organization. Joy has close to 1,000 people in her organization. How many people on the call right now? 67. Folks, everybody's not going to do nothing. If you go to church, guess what you're going to see? I go to a mega church. Our church one time had 30,000 people. But guess who were the people doing the work of the church? There was less than 5,000 people who did anything. Guess what, folks? Everybody's not going to do everything. And so a lot of times we spend a lot of time worried about what our people are doing, that they're not doing, they're not participating. And guess what happens, folks? It's just like what you see right here. When you see this iceberg right here, you see the tip right there. Now, watch this. The tip, basically, when the Titanic came, it didn't really just hit the tip. Folks, guess what was down here? 80%, guess what, of the weight was down there. 20% of the people are going to always produce 80% of the results. Think about it. It doesn't matter what number it is. Let's say if you're talking about Jesus and the disciples, guess what happened with Jesus and the disciples? 20% of the people did 80% of the work. Who were the 20 if for those who are Christian? It was Peter and John. 20%. It's never going to be everybody. And a lot of times we spend so much time grieving over people who leave, grieving over people who aren't going to participate. Now, do you need them on your team? Yes. You still have them there. You still need them. They're going to still want to get things they want to get out of what they want to get. Some people are going to say, I want to just travel. I just want to travel amazingly. I want to travel all the time. And I want to go to Disney. I want to go here. I want to go to Punta Cana. I want to do all these things. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to gladly help them do all those things. You're going to have somebody like Aisha who just says, I want to just book travel. Aisha loves booking travel. And guess what? Guess what I'm starting to do with my travel clients? Aisha, I got a client for you because I hate doing all the paperwork. I like working with groups because if I work with individuals, boy, I can't do all that going. I want to change my mind and go here and put it. I can't do that. Let's see. Uh-oh. Is that me? Let's see. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, you're
Can you hear
fine.
me clearly, Joy?
You're fine. Yep. Keep going.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to switch. Hold on one second. My Bluetooth got some interference in it.
The sound is gone.
He's switching.
Right now. Can you hear me?
No, very faint.
Okay.
Okay, now you're muted.
How about now?
Perfect.
Good. Okay. My Bluetooth got interference in it. So again, you're going to need the masses of the people. Planet Marketing has 65,000 people. But guess what? Everybody's not doing, IntelliTravel has 65,000, but everybody's not doing everything. Well, guess what? There's a small few that's carrying that load. And so give you another example. In business, there's an 80-20 rule. It's called the Pareto principle. It says top 20% of your clients will generate 80% of your profit. So do you need the other 80%? Yes. You still need them, but you don't worry about what everybody is doing. And you're going to see the reason why when I break it down for you, why this principle is important. important right here. Think about the military. I mean, my whole family was military, and you have Army, Navy, Marines, all these people going on. But guess what? When the United States wanted to go after Osama bin Laden, did they send everybody in there to get him? Who did they send? This squad, a squad like that. They sent 12 guys in to take care of the job. When the United States wants to do anything, guess what happened? These 3 or 4 guys can take out 100 and something guys. Why? Because they're specialists. They mastered their craft. And guess what happens? Everybody on your team is not going to do everything. So don't worry about it. Relax. Relax about it. And you're going to see the reason why we talk about building, because I'm going to show you the money on it. Again, remember the 80-20 rule. Now, I want to show you this little quick video, and then I'm going to show you how to get the money. Then I'm going to be out your way. And I don't think I put it on sound, so I'm going to share it with sound because I want you to see this, folks.
These are from Germany.
His net worth is mostly tied up in his coin and stamp collection.
I play penny machines, mostly the poker machines.
A few days a week, he drives himself to a casino, hoping one day he'll hit the jackpot. He's 76, retired, and lives in this modest home outside of Las Vegas in Pahrump, Nevada. He gets by off his monthly Social Security check.
I'll put it real simple. I've never been rich.
A lot of people face similar challenges, except how many can honestly say they could have been a billionaire more than 20 times over? If only he could have seen it.
You know that when people hear your story, they say to themselves, my gosh, $22 billion, he could have had it.
What can I say? I mean, you make a decision based upon your understanding of the circumstances, and you live with it. That's the best you can do. There's nothing you can do about yesterday.
Ron Wayne is the third founder of Apple. He designed the company's first logo and the first operating manual.
With these signatures right here, Apple Computer was formed.
Yes.
This 1976 legal agreement shows his name alongside the well-known founders Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs. Wayne, an engineer by trade, had befriended Jobs, who he says wanted his help in forming the company.
This is the contract right here.
Yes.
And it says Ron Wayne gets 10% of the business.
Mm-hmm.
And you were happy with that?
Of course. I had no investment in it. It was a fascinating thing.
But only 11 days after Apple came into existence, Wayne had second thoughts.
I felt very honestly that the way these guys were going, they were going to.
Y'all want to see the rest of that, don't you? We'll put that on the website for you. Y'all will get into it too. Here's the thing, folks. Everybody's not going to see everything, and it's okay. Think about Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs begged this man not to actually quit. But guess what? Some people are never going to see what you see out the business. That goes for business partners, and that goes for prospects. And a lot of times we spend a lot of waste on trying to convince people, hey, I need you to see this to benefit yourself. And how you get the money is, guess what? When somebody calls me and they say they want to quit, and people say they want to quit right now, we're going to have a quick discussion. And guess what happens? I'm going to find out why you would like to quit, what happened, and anything we could do. But as far as that, I'm not going to convince you folks, because you're adults. That's why on the contract, it says you're signing this contract 18 and over. And so when people cancel, all of a sudden they don't even call me and they cancel, guess what? I don't chase people. Guess what? When they cancel, you cancel. And guess what? You ruined a good opportunity for your family. When Ron Wayne quit, Steve Jobs did not quit. He did not cry. He tried to beg Ron to stay. But think about it, folks. On the screen, you just heard $22 billion. Guess what? Apple became a $1 trillion company. Guess what? The value from the time this video was done to 60 years later, Apple became a $1 trillion company. He would have been worth $100 billion. And sometimes we spend too much time with people grieving over them on the team. So I wanted to talk about that.
Bulldoze their way through anything.
And so let me move on to here. That's it. Okay. So I want to share one more thing with you. So now I said all those things. Let's see. Can you see my screen? I don't see it. Am I sharing it? Let's see. I'm not sharing it. Okay. Let's talk about getting the money, folks. And this is my whiteboard. I like writing on my whiteboard now. I love that they have them on computers. Let's talk about, I talked about ownership. I talked about education. I talked about the value and belief. Is when you start to learn about the value and belief, it changes your posture about what you actually have. So now when you're sitting down with somebody, you're sitting down from a point of strength, because now you understand they can't talk you out of the business. They can't call you and say, I read something on the internet about MLM for somebody, because now, hold on, Kenneth Chenault was at our conference. If it was on the internet, something bad about our company, don't you think American Express would not be partnered? You follow me? That Disney would not be partnered. So when you start to build your belief and you sit down with people, you're sitting down with them from a point of strength. So what do you do? How do you organize all those different things? Let's talk about it. Let's say this is you. What you want to do, and Mr. Bradley already laid it out for us. When I talk to people, you also want to talk about what type of business are you actually selling. Mr. Bradley always talks about the value proposition. What are you selling to people? Are you selling them to become a bronze builder? Are you selling them to become a gold builder? What are you selling to them? Is John still there? Me and John were having a conversation today. John, unmute your mic real quick. And so John,
Yeah, I'm here.
me and John were talking, and when John wrapped up, John told me something I didn't tell him. But John, how many people did you say you about to have in your organization?
We're about to have 20.
No, I'm talking about
The big
you're about to
picture,
have 20 now. You're about to have 20 now, but what was the number you told me?
1,000.
1,000. And so, John, what came with that belief that you could have 1,000? Because me and you hadn't talked about that. What happened? What did you see? Did he freeze? I think he froze up. You froze up, John. But anyhow, what John saw, he said, I'm gonna have 1,000 people in my organization. Why? Because when I started talking to John, we started talking. I didn't talk about a bronze builder, a gold builder. Everybody in my group who I personally sponsor, folks, guess what I see them at immediately? We're talking about directorship. And when I'm talking to them, I'm not saying you're going to be a director. I'm talking to them about extra, how about adding an extra $12,000 to $24,000 right away to your income? And folks, guess what happens? I'm selling a different business than most people. What is the director making? If you look at the income disclosure statements, directors are making a minimum of no less than $12,000. And so what happens is if I'm selling that, now they're seeing something bigger versus just being a bronze builder, gold builder, having an extra $500 taking a trip. So what you want to start doing is showing something bigger. Now, how do you structure your business to get the money, first of all, so that you could become a director? Mr. Bradley laid it out for us. When you get into business, what is the goal for you getting in business? You're going to get 1, 2, 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10. You want to actually get 10, go 10 wide real quick. What did John do the last couple of weeks? I said, John, go get 10. Now, why didn't I say go builder? How many of y'all drive your car? How many drive cars? Raise your hands. How many drive a car? How many people have a spare in the trunk? Okay, the reason why you go wider is because guess what? You want to have a spare in the car, because guess what happens? If you only have 9 and something happens to somebody's car, guess what happens? You're no longer a gold builder. What happens is that affects your income because you're no longer getting the $10 team bonus, right? Now, why is it that we're going to go 10? Here's the reason why 10. And I learned this from Cedric White. When you go 10 wide, guess what happens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Something happens to you right away. What's the first thing that happens? You made $500. That's called revenue in the business. You legitimized your business. You made revenue. Do you understand how long it takes for somebody to make $500 in a traditional business? Has anybody ever walked into the barbershop, beauty shop, and they have the first dollar framed on the wall or something, how powerful it is? How powerful it is when you make $500 and you could say, yeah, I got in my business and made $500. How powerful is John to say the last 3 weeks I made $500 in my business? That's a testimony right there. And so what happens is when you make $500, something else happens in there. How much does it cost for the business? It costs $200. So guess what? You made what's called the ROI, a return on investment. You made your money back. And now you can show people you made your money back. The third thing that happens, folks, is this. You made a profit. 3 things happen. You made revenue, you made a return on your investment, and you made a profit. What you done did is you done created business. Now, why do you get 10? And I'm about to wrap up with this. The reason why you're going to get 10 is because what did I say before about the 80-20 rule? All 10 are not going to do it. You're only going to probably find 1, maybe 2 who are going to do it. It may be 2 and 5. It may be number 3 and number 4. It may be number 8 and 9 or number 10, but you don't know and you can't tell. So what you do is people are predictable in numbers. So you play the numbers in your favor because guess what? Memorial Day, they're going to announce on Friday, they're going to say, there's going to be this many deaths, this many accidents, this many injuries. And then guess what will happen on Monday? They're going to say, there was this many deaths, this many accidents, and guess what? They're going to be so close, and they're going to say this. There were 50 million people traveling through Georgia. How did they get close? Because people are predictable in numbers. So you want to go 10. That's Go Builder there. Go Builder Plus right there. Then you want to draw the line real quick. And then guess what you want to do? What I'm telling John, add another 5 real quick. Why? That's 15. Why do you want to add the extra 5? Folks, what's $15 times $4 a month? That's $60. How much does it cost your monthly overhead? It's $60. Your business done took care of itself. You done legitimized your business. And now when you just have these 1 or 2 people running with you, guess what's going to happen? They're going to go do the same thing you just did. And guess what, folks? That's how you start how to get the money. And I went through that to show you ownership, education, value, belief. You put all of that together and you start sharing it. And then guess what? This is what you work towards. I'm going to go out here. If you're not a Go Builder today, Go Builder Plus. Guess what? Let's not say Go Builder anymore. Go Builder Plus. You want to become a Go Builder Plus because at convention, they don't recognize Go Builders. They recognize Go Builder Plus. So you want to Go Builder Plus, get that 10 in. And what happens is that 10 is going to lead you to those 2, remember, 80-20 rule. it's going to lead you to those 2, maybe 3 later. Number 3 and 4 might come later on, but you're going to get those 10. You're going to draw the line. Go get those extra 5. Now you never have to come out of your pocket for your business again and talk about, I got to pay for this out of my pocket. Nope, we're not having those discussions no more. Your business is legitimized. You done made revenue, you done made a return on investment, and you done made a profit, and you done covered your overhead right there. So thank you for tonight. Thank you for letting me talk to you about how to get the money. Back to you, Director Dawkins.
All right. Okay. I'm here. Awesome. Awesome. I love it. I love it. And we will be able to, I will remember to post the recording. I always get text messages. Somebody needs to remind me because we'll go through that whole week. But I'll definitely post it. Excellent job. Thank you. All right. So we are going to go straight into our welcome and straight into our promotions. So if you are a goal builder, it is your time to shine. We want to hear what happened with your team this week. We want to hear about the new people that came and any promotions that you have. So feel free to unmute yourself and please share with us all.
Director Dawkins?
Yes, ma'am.
This is Anissa Harris. I have a new business partner direct to me out of Goodyear, Arizona. Her name is Karen Como. Please welcome her to the team.
All right. Welcome, Karen. All right, Arizona. Okay.
Good evening, Kat Hines out of Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to welcome to the team Ms. Bonita Jenkins, personally sponsored by Tony Gale Travis. Oh, sorry, Bonita is out of Sagamore Hills, Ohio.
All right, Ohio. Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome.
Great evening, everyone. I would like to welcome 2 people today. Gloria Sebastian out of Atlanta, and she is direct to Donna Collins. And I'd like to welcome also out of Arizona, direct to Maxine Bingham. Maxine has not even been in 3 weeks yet, but she has her first business partner in Destiny Fletcher.
Awesome. Welcome, welcome. All right, who else?
Good night,
Great.
Director Dawkins. This is
Yes,
Naisha out of St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. And I would like to welcome to the team Desiree Brown Quilty out of Kingston, Jamaica, personally sponsored by Danielle Dalton Kelly out of Lexington, Ohio.
Awesome. Welcome, welcome.
Great evening. I would like to announce my newest business partner. She is Alita Jackson out of the Atlanta, Georgia market. And also I'd like to announce Charles Coley, newest business partner. And her name is Katrina Reed out of Cary, North Carolina.
Fantastic. Welcome, welcome.
Director Dawkins?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to welcome Ricky Whitfield, sponsored by John and Latrinkle Riley out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I'd like to welcome Sharinda Burrison, sponsored by Venice Fulton out of Richland, South Carolina. I'd like to welcome Walter Warren and Gloria Gooseby out of Greenville, South Carolina, sponsored by John and Latrinkle Riley. I'd like to welcome Tamars Roberson, sponsored by John and Latrinkle Riley out of Lumber City, Georgia. I'd like to welcome Charles Riley out of Atlanta, Georgia, sponsored by John and Latrinkle Riley, and welcome Robert Riley out of Douglas, Georgia, sponsored by John and Latrinkle Riley. And I'd like to congratulate John and Latrinkle Riley on becoming Gold Builder Plus, and you'll hear them doing their own announcements next time.
Awesome, awesome. Gold Builder Plus, congratulations on that. Fantastic. All right. Anyone else? Any other promotions or welcomes to the team? Okay. Well, that's exciting. Excellent, excellent. Well, I know we will have many more next week as well, as we are rounding out our massive May, massive activity. And we are just over midway through the month. So don't slow down for the holiday. Don't slow down for the graduations. I'm saying that because I have a graduate. I'm really talking to myself. I'm just really excited about what heading into summer and everything that is coming up. Let's see, this weekend we have, oh no, it's the 4th. Okay, so you have a break. That means y'all have launches planned, I'm sure, all day, presentations, travel parties, all of that good stuff online, because we don't have a corporate event on this Saturday. But I want to encourage you to keep up the work, keep up the three-way calls, keep up the activity, and keep the money rolling. How about that? All right, ladies and gentlemen, any announcements?
Saturday leadership call.
I'm sorry?
Saturday leadership.
See? I remembered last week, though. You know, you didn't have to tell me last week. Thank goodness. All righty. This week, we do have Mr. Shedrick White each and every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a powerful 1-hour leadership Zoom, and it is travel, it is team building, it is everything. So you want to be on, and I will tell you, he reached out to me the following week, the 5th Saturday, if there's a 5th Saturday, or whenever the next Saturday is. Yeah, it's the 29th. Will be Travel Talk, and I'm going to be one of the hosts, so I'll remember next week for sure to announce it. But plug into that. Get your teams on. It's a powerful training, and you'll really enjoy it. So thank you for reminding me on that. All right, anyone else? Any other announcements? Clarifications?
I don't have an announcement. It's Karima. Where are the recordings held? I'm sorry.
Okay, very good. No, very good question. When I actually post the recordings, they are in the Team Chosen and Team International pages. So I'm really, y'all can help me be a little bit more consistent with that. I'm gonna do it, I promise. But this one I wrote down in my notes, so it should be up by tonight. All right, anything else? Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you, because I really appreciate you spending your time, sharing your lives, and building your dreams with me. Have a fantastic evening. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.